Are we live? Are we live? Oh wait, why are we live? What is going on? It is Saturday. It is Saturday at 7 p.m. What is going on? What is going on? What why are you guys here? What? This is Saturday. We're not supposed to be live Saturdays. Oh wait. Yeah we are. Oh wait. Yes we are. What is up, Star Wars fans? It is Mike, a guy who loves Star Wars here. And yes, I am wearing a Darth Vader sweater, but it is the coldest day in the United States history. So I deserve to wear a sweater today. Let's just be real. I deserve to wear a sweater of today of all days. It's the coldest day in United States history, if you guys didn't know. Mount Washington, I think, was negative 108 degrees today, Fahrenheit. If you guys use Celsius, I don't know what kind of mumbo jumbo that is, but it was negative 108 degrees Fahrenheit today in the United States, coldest ever. So yeah, I deserve to wear a sweater, okay? I deserve to wear a sweater. Today's gonna be a fun stream. It's gonna be a fun stream. First ever Saturday night live stream that we're doing on the channel. We're going to make it a regular thing because we know some people can't make the 1 o'clock streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and Saturdays are kind of more of a free time, and at night as well if people work on the weekends. So it is kind of a win-win for all people all around the world, I do believe. That's what I believe at least. But it's going to be a fun stream today. A lot of fun talking about the Ahsoka show. We got a lot of fun things to talk about. We got to figure out where the Ahsoka show is going to actually take place in the Star Wars timeline. There's a lot of confusion going around on where this could actually take place, which is a little concerning because I don't know. I don't know. Do you know? I don't know. We're also going to talk about the World Between Worlds today, and of course we have the countdown to The Mandalorian Season 3. It is in 24 days, 4 hours, 57 minutes, and 42 seconds, give or take 3 hours, because it does come out at 3 a.m. on at least Eastern Standard Time. It comes out at 3 a.m., so that's just a countdown until March 1st. So it might be give or take 3 hours, but 24 days. 24 days until The Mandalorian Season 3. That is so hype. I am unbelievably excited for Mando Season 3. We got really excited on Thursday when we watched that hype video on Star Wars' Instagram, so we might actually go watch that again. But we got to talk about the Ahsoka show. We got to talk about the Ahsoka show and what the heck is going on with the Ahsoka show, because it is absolutely wild. It's wild. It is so wild. Star Wars Politics in first today saying, let's figure this out, everybody. Lol. So we got to figure out when the Ahsoka show takes place in the Star Wars timeline. Now, you might be thinking, oh, well, that's an easy one. It's right after the Book of Boba Fett. It might not be so simple. It might not. So first of all, let's start off with the fun stuff. Let me show you something really quickly. Let me show you something really cool. Really quickly, really cool. You ready for this? I have a merch shop. Yeah. We got a merch shop at the channel here. The link is in the description below. I got to shout it out. I always forget to shout it out, but I've been remembering the last couple times. We got a Hello There hat. We got a TIE Fighter hat. We got an X-Wing hat. We got a Clone Force 99 shirt. Getting hyped for the Bad Batch this week. We got 2 episodes for the Bad Batch. It's going to be exciting. So go check out the merch shop. It's in the description below. It's also a guy who loves SW.com. So go check out the merch shop, of course. But without further ado, let's get right into this. Where do we start? Star Wars Rebels. So we know Ahsoka Tano is the apprentice to Anakin Skywalker in the Clone Wars, so we'll fast forward to Star Wars Rebels. She is Fulcrum, and she is helping the rebels. We don't really know what's going on with her, and then we find out that she is going to fight Darth Vader at the end of Season 2 and get bested. She dies. Or at least we're led to believe that she dies. For at least 2 years, we believe that Ahsoka Tano is dead. Literally, from 2016 to 2018, we thought Ahsoka Tano was dead, and dead for good. Which was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. We thought Darth Vader had killed her. She died on Malachor at the Sith Temple. It was pretty wild. But, thankfully, as I drew on some ice, due to something called the World Between Worlds, A few years later, Ezra Bridger came and saved her. Through the World Between Worlds, Ezra Bridger came in and saved her. We'll get to the World Between Worlds in a minute. We're talking about where the Ahsoka show takes place in the timeline. We'll get to the World Between Worlds in a little bit. It is. That's what my head does when we start to talk about the World Between Worlds. So we'll hold off on it for a minute. So Ezra Bridger goes into the World Between Worlds through the Jedi Temple on Lothal and saves Ahsoka Tano. So now Ahsoka, that we thought was dead for 2 years, is back. She's back, and better than ever. And she's back. And then we get this scene. This is the end of Ezra's story as we know it for now. Ezra and Thrawn disappearing. This was the end of Star Wars Rebels, the very last episode. Ezra makes a sacrifice play just like Kanan did, and has the, what are these whales names? Space whales. Oh, that's killing me. What's the name? Somebody, come on, chat. What's the name? Oh, that hurts my brain that I don't know that. Anybody? Chat, please. Somebody. Oh, that hurts my brain. But they disappear into what we now believe is the new beyond. But we don't know where they've disappeared to for years and years and years now. We don't know. But that's the end of Star Wars Rebels. But there is an epilogue. A very, very end scene to Star Wars Rebels, and that is this. Ahsoka Tano showing up on Lothal to where Sabine is. Sabine is there where Ezra's house was. They're still looking for Ezra and Thrawn. In this, we're led to believe this is after the Battle of Endor. Lothal's been already built back up after the Empire is gone. It's been a long, long time because you see Lothal, the city of Lothal, is this really thriving place now because the Empire is gone. But we don't really know when this takes place yet. So this, just forget about this for now. Let's go. Rebels, Ahsoka dies for 2 years. Ezra saves her. We get Ezra and Thrawn disappearing. And we'll skip the epilogue for now because we don't know when that takes place. The next on the list is the original trilogy. Now, Ahsoka Tano is not in the original trilogy, although her master is in Darth Vader. A lot, actually. He's a pretty decent character, a pretty important character in the original trilogy, if I do say so myself. But Darth Vader is in the original trilogy, but Ahsoka isn't. Now, what is Ahsoka doing this whole time? We don't know. We don't know. We just don't know. We can assume that she's looking for Thrawn and Ezra, but come The Mandalorian Season 2, she is still looking for Thrawn and Ezra. Next on that list is The Mandalorian Season 1. But, unlike this is almost directly before, if not a few years before this, The Mandalorian Season 1 is 5 years later, give or take a few years. It's 5 years after the original trilogy, so there's a pretty big time gap there. 5 years is no easy feat. It's no small time frame there. 5 years is 5 years. It's a long time. So in between the original trilogy and Mando Season 1 is 5 years. What is Ahsoka doing through that time? We don't know. We don't know. But we can assume still looking for Thrawn and Ezra. Because when we meet her in The Mandalorian Season 2, she's looking for Thrawn and Ezra. This is the first live-action appearance of Ahsoka Tano ever in The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 6, The Jedi. I think it's Episode 6, right? Or 5? It's Episode 5. Episode 5, The Jedi. And it is Ahsoka Tano's first live-action appearance, and she fights what we're led to believe is a Night Sister, but we don't know that for sure yet. But she asks, where is Grand Admiral Thrawn? And so she's looking for Grand Admiral Thrawn, but she's also looking for Ezra. She's looking for Ezra because Ezra is a friend. He's a friend. So she's looking for Ezra, and she's still looking for Thrawn. But this is years and years and years and years after the disappearance of... what do we do? Oh, gosh darn. The disappearance of Thrawn and Ezra. This is years and years later. Literally, this is the end of Star Wars Rebels. Then you have the original trilogy, which is about 3 to 5-ish years. And then you have 5 more years. So you're talking 10 to 15-ish years. She's been looking for Thrawn and Ezra. She's been looking. Just looking. She has no idea where to find them. She doesn't. She has no idea. But she's still looking. Then you get her in the Book of Boba Fett a year later. Right? And she doesn't have much of a role in this show. And we don't really know where she's going after this show, right? But she talks to Luke, And she says, "You're so much like your father," and we all have heart attacks, many heart attacks, because we're like, "Oh!" She just said the thing. She said the thing. And then she leaves. And Luke's like, "Am I going to see you again?" Because Luke Soka, you know. Any Luke Soka fans in the chat? Any Luke Soka fans? Luke Soka for life. But she leaves. And Luke's like, "Am I ever going to see you again?" And she says, "Maybe." She says, "Maybe." She says, "May the force be with you." And then she leaves. She just dips. And she's never to be seen from again. However, that is the last thing that has happened in the timeline. We do have The Mandalorian Season 3 coming out next. And again, what's the timer at? What's the timer at? Somebody pull up the timer! What's the timer at? Well, how many days until... How many days? How many days? How many days? 24 days. 24 days until The Mandalorian Season 3. Is Ahsoka going to be in The Mandalorian Season 3? Do you guys think Ahsoka will be in The Mandalorian Season 3? Should we pull this up really quick before we keep going? Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. Do we think that Ahsoka Tano will be in The Mandalorian Season 3? Will Ahsoka be in Mando 3? What do you think? Yes or no? What do you think? Will Ahsoka be in The Mandalorian Season 3? Because we know, we think we know, I guess. I mean, we think we know that The Mandalorian Season 3 is going to be Din versus Bo for the throne. Moff Gideon's going to be thrown in there. Maybe some other Mandalorians are going to be thrown in there. Remnants of the Empire. Maybe some Praetorian guards. Some connections to the sequels with Snoke and Babu Frick. And who knows? But do we think Ahsoka's going to be thrown in there? Do you think that Ahsoka Tano would be in it? Star Wars Politics says, I'm 50-50 on this, so I can't vote. It is tough. There doesn't seem to be a reason for Ahsoka to be in there. However, there was no reason for her to be in the Book of Boba Fett. There was no reason for her to be in the Book of Boba Fett, literally at all. There was no reason for her to be on that planet with Luke other than for her to say the thing, which was, "You're so much like your father." And it got all the fans excited, and we got a ton of Luke Ahsoka memes because of it. But she just had no reason to be there. Star Wars Politics says, so fan service then. I hate the word fan service, I had to say. But with that in mind, it kind of was. Ahsoka being in the Book of Boba Fett was only to, not really, because it was only to give the connection that her and Luke have met before. So it's not really fan service, it's just the father of Luke, the father's apprentice. So Vader's apprentice meets Vader's son. So it's like the two children meeting almost. And Ahsoka is a lot more wise than Luke Skywalker, has a lot more training than Luke Skywalker. So Luke could learn a lot from Ahsoka. So putting Ahsoka in a scene with Luke only just guarantees the fact that they've met and that Luke Skywalker can get trained by her or learn a thing or two from her. So Star Wars Politics says, I think that was a more pivotal moment than we think. If she had stayed, Luke's order might not have failed. Very true. But Ahsoka's on a mission now. She has to find Ezra. She has to find Thrawn. Now, the only difference that I see with the Ahsoka that we met in Mando Season 2 and the Ahsoka we met in the Book of Boba Fett is the Ahsoka in Mando Season 2 seemed to be hunting something. She seemed to be very upset about something, literally still searching for Thrawn and Ezra after all of these years. But the Ahsoka that we find in the Book of Boba Fett is very calm. Talking to Din, she's very calm, cool, and collected. And when she's talking to Luke, she's smiling, she's happy, she's calm, cool, and collected. It's a very different Ahsoka Tano than in The Mandalorian Season 2, which leads me to believe that she knows where Thrawn is. She knows where Ezra is, and she's just on her way there now. When she leaves Luke, she has to go somewhere, and that somewhere is to go to this new beyond or wherever the heck Ezra and Thrawn have been this entire time. So that's what I think has happened. Now, where is the Ahsoka show going to take place? Is it going to be directly after the Book of Boba Fett, right after she leaves Luke's Jedi Temple? Or is it going to be before The Mandalorian in that time frame? Let me pull it up again for you. in that time frame, in between the first season of The Mandalorian and the original trilogy, in that 5 to 6 year gap between the two, is that when the Ahsoka show is going to take place. So the two huge rumors we have on the Ahsoka show are that it's going to have the world between worlds, and it's going to go to this new beyond, and it's going to introduce this new beyond, and it's going to be where Thrawn and Ezra disappeared at the end of Star Wars Rebels. Which means that at some point, Ahsoka is going to go to this new beyond. But she's also going to go into the world between worlds, and I think this is going to be two completely separate events, completely separate time periods in the Star Wars canon. I think that Ahsoka is going to go into the world between worlds in between The Mandalorian Season 2 and the Book of Boba Fett. I think in this 1-ish year time gap here is when Ahsoka goes into the world between worlds. You can even see it on her face right here. She's pissed. She's hunting. She's looking for Thrawn and Ezra. And then you see her right here. She's happy. She's smiling. She's about to do some things with Luke off screen. But she knows where Thrawn and Ezra are at this point. And why is that? Because in between these two events, she has gone into the world between worlds, and that is going to be the first half, if not first few episodes of the Ahsoka show. Now, these are not spoilers. These are not. This is all speculation and rumor. I can't tell you that this is going to happen. I can't tell you that this is what will happen. But this is all speculation and rumor, and I want to hear what you guys think. When do you think Ahsoka's going into the world between worlds? Because the moral of the story, or as it's supposed to be, is she's going to fight Anakin on Mustafar. She's going to try and kill Thrawn before him and Ezra escape, but she's going to realize that destiny cannot be changed. Those events, Anakin falling to the dark side and Ezra and Thrawn going into the New Beyond, cannot be changed. Also, that means that that Anakin falling to the dark side is just as important as Ezra and Thrawn going into the New Beyond. Meaning, the New Beyond is going to go insane. The New Beyond is going to be so important to the story of Star Wars. It's going to be wild. It's going to be so important to the story of Star Wars. Like, just as important as Anakin turning to the dark side. Now that just blows my mind. Blows my mind. Some things are destined to happen, and one of them is Ezra and Thrawn disappearing. There have been other leaks, like Ahsoka riding on a Loth Wolf, which is wild, which puts her on Lothal. But we know at the end of Rebels, that temple that Ezra went into to get into the world between worlds is gone. The Jedi Temple on Lothal is gone, which is very, very strange. Very strange. I mean, it's wild. So where I think the Ahsoka show takes place in the timeline is the first few episodes when we're in the world between worlds and Ahsoka is figuring out what the destiny of herself and Ezra and Thrawn and Anakin are, is in between The Mandalorian Season 2 and the Book of Boba Fett. Then I think there's a time jump, a pretty big one too. Not like a few years or anything, but a pretty big time jump to after these events in the Book of Boba Fett. And then the Ahsoka show happens after the events of The Mandalorian Season 3 or at the same time as the events of The Mandalorian Season 3. Whether or not Ahsoka is in the show or not will kind of sway those opinions. So, the first few episodes, when she goes into the world between worlds, happens between The Mandalorian Season 2 and the Book of Boba Fett, and then the rest of the show takes place after The Mandalorian Season 3 in the timeline as it stands. Because The Mandalorian so far, this Mando-verse, whatever you want to call it, has been going in order so far. The Mandalorian Season 1, The Mandalorian Season 2, now the Book of Boba Fett, and then The Mandalorian Season 3. So it would only make sense if it kept going in order, going with the Ahsoka show and then the Skeleton Crew show. However, there are flashbacks in the Book of Boba Fett. There are flashbacks even in The Mandalorian with flashbacks to Din when he's a kid in the first season and all that kind of stuff. So there can be flashbacks. And I think the first few episodes of the Ahsoka show are just going to be flashbacks. I use flashbacks in quotations because it's going to be her going into the world between worlds and fighting Anakin on Mustafar. That just the concept of that is so mind-blowingly cool that it's wild. It's absolutely wild. Literally, I just can't wait for this show. I literally can't wait for it. And I hope it comes out soon. I hope it comes out soon. For my own sanity and for yours, I hope it really comes out soon, because I could talk about Ahsoka for hours on end. We've literally been talking about it for 20 minutes now, and I feel like we just started the stream. There's also a Discord, if I didn't mention this, in the description below. Go check that out. We had literally like hours long conversation about this the other night in the Discord. So if you want to talk to some other nerdy guys and gals who love Star Wars, go check out that Discord in the description below for sure. You should just be able to click on the link and then just like accept the invite or whatever, and you should be good to go. Because we want to talk about this. This is what Star Wars needs, is speculation and fans talking about what's coming next. That's what the Force Awakens had. Who is Snoke? Who is Rey? Who is Finn? Or is Finn going to be a Jedi? Is Kylo going to turn back to the light? What's going on with Luke? At the end of, why is he on Ahsoka? Like, you want people speculating about Star Wars again in the Ahsoka show is the perfect thing. Literally the perfect thing. Raheem says, I want to be involved in these conversations. Well, then do it, Raheem. Then do it. You're involved right now, buddy. What do you think? When do you think the Ahsoka show will take place? When do you think she goes in to the world between worlds? And let's make it even crazier. How does she get into the world between worlds? Only, I got to go full screen for this. I've said it many times. Ezra Bridger is one of my favorite characters in all of Star Wars. But only one person in Star Wars canon ever has gone into the world between worlds. Ahsoka got saved by the world between worlds, but only one person has ever gone into the world between worlds, and that is Ezra freaking Bridger. Ezra Bridger. He's the only guy who's been in there. Now, how does Ahsoka get back into the world between worlds? Star Wars Politics says that we know of. Yes, he's the only person that we know of that's been into the world between worlds. Yes, for sure. But that we know of is the only person to go into the world between worlds. But how is Ahsoka going to get in? Because I just watched the Star Wars Rebels episode, A World Between Worlds, like 10 times today because it's so good. But the way that it works is Ahsoka finds the painting of the son, the daughter, and the father on the side of the temple, right? And the painting moves because he uses the Force, and the Lothwolves go over to the side and create the portal. And Ezra already has a very strong connection to the Lothwolves because he was born on Lothal, and he has all these connections to these animals anyway, and he opens the portal. As soon as he goes into the portal closes, and the stormtroopers who try to follow him just crash right into the wall. So the portal immediately closes right after him. So what is going on here? Because Ezra is the only one who is able to get in to the world between worlds. Is it because of his connection to the Lothwolves? Then how is Ahsoka going to get in? Also, this Jedi temple that he uses to get in disappears after he comes out. It's gone. It's gone forever. Like, forever. It's gone. It gets destroyed. Forever. So I don't know. Derpy Entertainment says, SpongeBob voice, I need it. I can't do a SpongeBob voice. You're doing the, I get it. Like, yeah, when he's really thirsty, I need, I get you. Raheem's World, I truly believe this is more deeper than what we know. We are definitely in for a treat, trust me. Raheem, I always trust you. You know I always trust you. You know I always trust you. And I know we're in for a treat because these leaks and rumors are absolutely wild. The world between worlds. Ahsoka going to this new beyond. But the world between worlds as a concept is insane. Watching the episode over and over and over again made me realize something. When Ezra first goes into the world between worlds, he hears Yoda. And then he hears Obi-Wan. But he hears Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan. And then he hears Alec Guinness's Obi-Wan, which is in the future technically. And then he hears Kylo Ren saying to Rey, like, like when they are connected in The Last Jedi or something, he's like, why are we connected or something like that. And then Rey says something. So these are people who are literally 30 years in the future talking in the world between worlds while Ezra's walking through it. And Ezra hears them because he's yelling, Yoda, Obi-Wan. He hears these people. He just doesn't know who Kylo Ren or Rey is. But these are the people from the future talking to Ezra in the world between worlds. It literally opens up just these huge floodgates. It makes no sense, but it kind of does. Derpy Entertainment says, give me a trailer already. All right, so here's where I think we're going to get a trailer for the Ahsoka show, is Star Wars Celebration. So Star Wars Celebration is right around the corner. It's in April, I think the end of April. I don't know. I honestly don't know. April 17th, April 27th, something along those lines. But that's where I think we're going to get the first trailer. That's where I think we're going to get finally, officially, the first trailer for the Ahsoka show. We do have this poster. Oh, wait, did I not pull it up? Oh, I had it pulled up. What the heck? Hang on. Ahsoka show. We did get this first poster for the Ahsoka show. Obviously, still no trailer. If there was a trailer, we'd know about it. But this is the first official poster for the Ahsoka show. And it is pretty cool. Pretty darn cool. Doesn't show us much of anything. Except for maybe the fact that this is Lothal, because it has these, like, Lothal looking like things in the background. But how are we supposed to know that? Like, it's just blurry in the background. But this is the first poster for the Ahsoka show. And, yeah, she's not in the white robes that we see here. She's not in these white robes. So, yeah, further on to that, when do we think this epilogue takes place? When do you think this epilogue takes place? I think this takes place even after the Book of Boba Fett. Even after The Mandalorian Season 3, actually. But even after the Book of Boba Fett. I think this white-robed Ahsoka takes place after this. I think it does. And here's why. This white-robed Ahsoka really makes me believe that she, for sure, knows where Ezra and Thrawn are, picking up Sabine to go get them. She also is at peace with herself, knowing that she could not save her master, but she tried everything she could. She went into the world between worlds to save her master. She went into the world between worlds to kill Thrawn and save Ezra. Knowing that all that stuff is destiny and has to happen, she's come to peace with it. She's come to peace with it, and that is when we see white-cloaked Ahsoka Tano after the Book of Boba Fett, and probably even after The Mandalorian Season 3. So this could be either the opening or maybe like a midway point of the Ahsoka show. Her showing up on Lothal in a white robe to Sabine. We could see a live-action version of this very scene, which is pretty wild. Absolutely wild. But when do you think that scene takes place? Should we pull that up? When? Yeah, let's do it. Let's see where that other poll went. Raheem says, yes, you're so smart and you're on the right track. No Ahsoka is coming in March. What? No, it's not. The Mandalorian is coming in March. Raheem, you liar. Liar. And I know I'm smart. I'm on the right track. Just kidding. So 80% of you say yes, that Ahsoka will be in The Mandalorian Season 3, which is surprising, actually. Because, like, politics said he can't even vote on it because he's 50-50. But I could see it both ways. I could see there being a scenario where Ahsoka could come help Mando if he's in trouble. I could see it maybe Sabine's involved because she's a Mandalorian, and this is The Mandalorian Season 3 where he's getting all the Mandalorian back together, and maybe that's the connection to Ahsoka. Ahsoka knows Bo-Katan. There's many different connections that could be made to Ahsoka Tano. However, I could also see her just not showing up. I could just as easily see Ahsoka not being in The Mandalorian Season 3 and just going right into her own show. But let's start up another poll. When do you think white robe Ahsoka is? Is that even how you spell robe? Why does robe look completely wrong to me? When do you think white robe Ahsoka is? So here are your time frames. Ready? Right after the Battle of Endor. So right after Return of the Jedi. Right after Return of the Jedi. Right before the Ahsoka show. or let's say right after the Book of Boba Fett, right after the Book of Boba Fett, or during the Ahsoka show, meaning it will happen in live action in the Ahsoka show, or during the Ahsoka show. You guys tell me. What do you think? When will we see this? Hang on, let me pull her up. This white-robed Ahsoka. When will we see her? Will it be right after Return of the Jedi? Will it be right after the Book of Boba Fett when she leaves Luke's Jedi Temple? Or will it be during the Ahsoka show and we'll get a live-action version of it at some point in the Ahsoka show when they're about to go to this new beyond? What do you think? What do you think? I honestly, I mean, this could go any way. I don't know. I really don't. This epilogue of Rebels, Dave Filoni really threw us for a curveball here. And this happened when did Rebels end? Like 5 years ago? Like, for all this time, we don't know when this scene even takes place. Like, Dave Filoni is just that good. He's that good at the game. He's that good at the game. He is. He truly is. But when do you think it takes place? Honestly, tell me. I'm up for anything. I'll take anything at this point. I'll take anything. Anything. Should we talk about the World Between Worlds as a concept? Because it's wild. Should we talk about the World Between Worlds and how it can change Star Wars forever? Because Raheem says, let me pull it back up. Raheem says, I truly believe this is more deeper than what we know, and we are definitely in for a treat. I want some treats. I like treats. I'll take a treat. The World Between Worlds is absolutely insane. And if you go watch that Rebels episode again called A World Between Worlds, Season 4, Episode 13 maybe, I don't know. If you watch that episode over again, you'll see that Ezra, when he first goes into the World Between Worlds, here's Yoda, here's Obi-Wan, here's Ahsoka herself, here's Kylo Ren, here's Rey, here's older Obi-Wan, here's people from the past and the future. I don't get it. Now, I did make a video last Sunday about Ahsoka possibly going into the World Between Worlds, and that's when she talks to Rey in The Rise of Skywalker, because she's one of the people who call out to Rey through the World Between Worlds. That's what I believe. You also hear Qui-Gon Jinn, by the way, when you go into the World Between Worlds. But my theory was, and Star Wars Politics also had a good take on it too, was that Ahsoka is in the World Between Worlds when talking to Rey, not actually dead. In the World Between Worlds. Star Wars Politics says, I heard a theory that Mortis was actually the World Between Worlds. Not sure I'm buying it. So the world... So my what if video today, I know, it's usually what if Fridays. Sorry. It was what if it's Saturday today. But my what if video today was about what if Anakin stayed on Mortis. And very similar to the way that Anakin, Ahsoka, and Obi-Wan go into into Mortis, they just kind of teleport there. They actually pass out on the panel or whatever of the ship they're flying, and when they wake up, they've landed on Mortis, and it's some place that they don't know. They're very confused. They don't know what's going on. They really just don't. They don't know what's going on. So they just land there, and they go through the whole Mortis arc, and it's epic. But the same way that they just kind of passed out and woke up, the Lothwolves, when the rebels need to get away from the Empire and they just hold on to the Lothwolf's tail and he literally teleports them halfway across the planet, they all just pass out and wake up on the other half of the planet. So a lot like Anakin, Ahsoka, and Obi-Wan just passing out and waking up on Mortis, the same thing kind of happened with the Lothwolves. And the Lothwolves are in the painting next to the father, the son, and the daughter, who are from Mortis. So yes, the World Between Worlds and Mortis, I think, are very heavily connected, because the World Between Worlds is just like literally the opening to it is the Mortis painting. it is definitely connected. The two are definitely connected, just in some crazy way. The Titans Fantastic says, maybe I'm slow, but isn't it about 4 BBY because it says 5 years later, doesn't it? No, it doesn't say 5 years later. It doesn't. It actually has zero specificity to when it happens. I think. Hang on. Let's see if Titan Fantastic is correct. Hang on. Now I'm misremembering myself. Hang on here. Let me pull it up. Let me see. I don't think it says 5 years. Does anybody else remember it saying 5 years? I don't think it does. But maybe you're right. Maybe you are right. Please don't make any noise. Hang on. I'm just going to try and pause this. Yep, there we go. All right, let me fast forward to the end here. All right, here we go. Hang on. So this is the end of the show. I know you guys can't watch it with me because it's Disney Plus and that can't happen. But let's see. There's people cheering because the Empire's gone. No. Nope. No 5 years later. Doesn't say anything. It just immediately goes to that. It doesn't say 5 years later. Raheem's World says, we will be having an Ahsoka and Mando crossover. And that's all I'm going to say about it. Oh, wow. You are very smart and you are on the right road. Raheem, just tell us what you have. All this is heading for a big and dramatic surprise. Big and dramatic surprise. Raheem, come on, buddy. Star Wars Politics says, I'm spoiling my video tomorrow, but do you think Ahsoka will be a guardian of the world between worlds? Yeah, Politics, you brought this up on Tuesday or Thursday when I asked, what do we think Ahsoka's destiny is? Why is she so important that she got saved by Ezra and nobody else could? And you said maybe it's possible that she could be the guardian of the world between worlds. And that was a great point, and you're making a video on it, and I can't wait to watch that video. But it was a great point because maybe it's possible that Ahsoka's actual goal, like her destiny, is to protect the world between worlds from people, from threats, from the Sith, from anybody. Because Palpatine, we know, is trying to get in there. It's a bunch of other crazy stuff. But yeah, he follows up and says, the daughter says, we are the ones that guard the power when Ezra opens the portal. You are absolutely correct. I just watched that today. When she actually moves and talks to Ezra, she says, we are the ones that protect the power, or guard the power. Yeah. We are the ones that guard the power. So maybe Ahsoka just becomes the guardian of the world between worlds. That is a great take, and I can't wait for that video tomorrow. Star Wars Politics. I can't wait. That's going to be exciting. Yes, that's how you pronounce that word. So yeah, to answer your question, the Titans Fantastic is no. It is not 5 years later. It is not. It has zero specificity to when that actually takes place, and we don't know. We literally don't know when that final scene takes place. We don't, which is crazy, which is still mind-boggling to me. It's crazy. It's absolutely wild. So, the world between worlds as a whole. Can people go to the future? Can people go to the past? What is going on? We know that they can go to the past, but there is literally hundreds of different pathways, portal entrances, and everything when Ezra gets into the world between worlds. There's different paths that he could go down, and somehow, probably by the will of the Force, he gets drawn to one specific portal, and it has the owl. What's the owl's name? Morai. What's Ahsoka's owl's name? Or the daughter's owl's name. But Ezra ends up saving Ahsoka and then saying, oh wait, maybe I can save Kanan. And he runs over to another portal where it shows Kanan sacrificing himself, saving everybody else. And Ahsoka explains to him that he can't save Kanan because if he pulls Kanan out of the timeline at this point, then they will all die because he's the one saving them from this gigantic blast from the fuel depot. He's the one saving them. So if he gets pulled out of that, then they all die. And Ezra dies. And sure, Kanan might be alive, but Ezra dies, Hera dies, Sabine dies. And Chopper, I think. Maybe not Chopper. But they all die. So now it's more of like, can you just take out anybody? Can anybody be saved by the world between worlds? Let's pull that up. Let's see where this poll ended. When did you guys think that Ahsoka was going to be? When do you think White Robe Ahsoka will be? And all of you said in the Ahsoka show, which I completely agree with. But let's do this poll. Let's do this poll. Can anyone from the past or future be saved by, I'll put the whole thing, world between worlds? Yes or no? Can anybody from the past or the future be saved by the world between worlds? Anybody. Literally anybody. And while you guys answer that, let's go back to what Raheem just said, because he said we will be having an Ahsoka and Mando crossover. And that's all I'm going to say. And he said, all this is heading to a big and dramatic surprise. So he's seemingly saying that Ahsoka is going to be in The Mandalorian Season 3, and that all of this is coming to a gigantic, as people like to say, Avengers Endgame level event with Thrawn and the Mandalorian and Thrawn's undead army and Ahsoka and Luke Skywalker, and all these people are coming to a head, coming to this huge, what could be huge battle, huge gigantic battle. Who knows? But yeah, I do believe that this could actually end in the movie theaters. Some people believe that too, but maybe it ends in a show. I don't know. How many seasons of The Mandalorian do you think we could get? 3? 4? Think we'll get more than 4? I don't see it. I don't see The Mandalorian going on forever. That's for sure. I definitely don't see it being like a 10-season show. Like, no, that's not going to happen. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you think? Because honestly, the world between worlds is so gosh darn confusing at this point in time. But I do believe that the Ahsoka show will clear this all up. Everything will be explained by the end of the Ahsoka show, and Dave Filoni is going to spell it out for us perfectly. Star Wars Politics says, do you think the world between worlds is a place where you can see different points of time? That's why I can't figure out the whole Anakin and Ahsoka on Mustafar. Yes, I'm on the same boat as you right now. So he says, I do think the world between worlds is a place where you can see different points of time. And that's why I can't figure out the whole Ahsoka time thing. So Ahsoka versus Anakin on Mustafar thing. So the thing is, with the world between worlds as we know it, Ezra goes in and saves Ahsoka, an event that we saw happen. Ahsoka versus Vader on Malachor. We saw that happen. Again, they see in another portal Kanan sacrificing himself, and we saw that happen. But an event that never happened, ever, was Ahsoka versus Anakin on Mustafar. But now, with the Ahsoka show leaks, they're saying that could happen, that the Ahsoka show could have Anakin versus Ahsoka on Mustafar. That would be the first time that the World Between Worlds has brought us to a never before, something that never happened before. It never actually happened, which is crazy. Star Wars Politics says, I actually think that that occurs during a vision in the temple, where she then opens a portal and learns the lesson of destiny. She did have a vision of Anakin in the Lothal temple, along with Ezra seeing Kanan fight an Inquisitor. So yes, Jedi temples give weird visions for sure. And maybe this whole Ahsoka versus Anakin on Mustafar thing is just a vision or a premonition of the Force, because Ahsoka's at a Jedi temple, which could be cool. And then maybe she goes into the World Between Worlds. The only thing is, how does she get into the World Between Worlds? Nobody can explain this to me. I've done my research for sure, and I can't find literally nothing. How does she get... Politics follows up and says, yeah, a vision in the temple, and then she goes into the world between worlds. How does she get into the world between worlds? We've only seen one person in canon. We've only seen one person in canon go into the world between worlds, and that was Ezra Bridger. And he went through this portal made by the Loth Wolves because he had a connection to the Loth Wolves. When he comes out, he destroys the temple entirely, meaning the only one entrance that we've ever seen be used was destroyed. So how is Ahsoka going to get back into the world between worlds? Anybody, please. Star Wars Politics says it's her destiny. I think it's a simpler answer than we think. I don't know. I don't think that's that. But where does she enter the world between worlds? Like at another Jedi temple? The one on Lothal is gone. So what Jedi temple is she going to? What? That's how I feel right now. That's how my brain feels right now. I feel like it's going to absolutely explode. So while your brain, mind, and body all melt to the idea of the world between worlds, how is Ahsoka going to get into the world between worlds? Journeyman says another temple. Journeyman. Where? What temple? The Jedi temple on Coruscant? Like what? And do all temples have a entrance to the world between worlds? Is Lothal the only one? Lothal has the Loth Wolves on it, and the Father, the Son, and the Daughter on it. Do all Jedi temples have that? I don't think so. I don't think so. Maybe you're right, Journeyman. Maybe you're right. But I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think it's that easy. I don't think it's that easy. But I don't know. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. We're here to absolutely go crazy, speculating about what the heck this world between worlds thing is and how it's going to be used, how Ahsoka's going to get in there, and what is going to happen. What is going to happen? Because if you're right, Politics, and you're saying that she is supposed to be the guardian of the world between worlds, then is she going to leave the world between worlds, stop guarding it for a while, go fight Thrawn, find Ezra and the New Beyond, have this whole battle go on for years and years, and then come back to the world between worlds and protect it? Or is her destiny somewhere in this New Beyond? Is her destiny somewhere fighting Thrawn or with the Night Sisters or something with these new Force users in this new place in the galaxy? You have to remember, Ahsoka Tano isn't in the original trilogy or the sequel trilogy, but isn't in the original trilogy. Star Wars Politics says her staff can open the portal. I'm spoiling my video. Don't take my ideas. Yeah, I won't. But go watch his video. Jeez. So Josh from the Den of Nerds always says Yoda and Mace are hiding something. What if the World Between Worlds is a World Between Worlds entrance in the temple? So you're saying that now Yoda and Mace Windu knew about the World Between Worlds. Not only that, they knew where an entrance was in the Jedi Temple. Now that would be absolutely insane. And you think that this staff, let me pull it up. This staff right here is allowing Ahsoka to open the World Between Worlds. Now that would be crazy. That would be absolutely insane. I do believe that this staff has a meaning. Ahsoka never carries around a staff anyway, so why would she carry around a staff now? It definitely probably has a meaning. Opening the World Between Worlds would be very cool. That's a great idea. Oh no, did we freeze? No, we're frozen. Hang on. Maybe I can fix this. Can I fix it? Let me see. Maybe we can fix this. Hang on. Maybe we can fix this. Hang on. Hang on. Why did we freeze? Oh, wait, hang on. I might be able to save it. Oh, come on. Don't do me like this. No. No. Hang on. Please allow me to sing a nice song while we try and figure this out. First I was afraid. I was petrified. I don't know why that was the first song that came into my head, but it was. Okay, what the heck? Why are we frozen? Why are we frozen? We're gonna have to restart this stream. That would really stink. That would stink. Hang on, let's see. Alright, what the heck? Can you guys still hear me at least? What the heck? This stinks. Why does it do this? Keep the convo going on Discord. Everybody hop on. Star Wars Politics wants to keep this conversation going on the Discord. You guys can go do that. I'm going to try to fix this stream. I don't know what the heck's going on here. Maybe if we... Let me try something real quick. This might end the stream. And if it does, I will restart.